And so I'm on your side, Richie. I'm a big Alex Highsmith fan on a personal level, but I don't want the Steelers to give him top of the market money to do something that I think a lot of guys can do, and that's play on the other side of TJ Watt.
Yeah, and I just, what he did when TJ Watt wasn't around, I just felt like that, he was a good player, average, better than average kind of player, and that's why I don't think he's worth that kind of money. I would take a chance on either maybe drafting a guy or finding a guy next year that potentially could do what he could do.
Yeah, he had 3.5 sacks in the 7 games that Watt was out. So we learned in that span of games, almost half a season, that Highsmith was not someone that could do it all on his own. Now, I know sacks are not the only stat that matters, but my eye test told me the same things, that Highsmith was far less of a difference maker and was not as much of a guy that was able to make the critical play when Watt was gone. Now, when Watt comes back in, he gets double teams. Highsmith's one-on-one. There's no help, and he's able to do much better, which is the same thing we saw with Dupree before he left for Tennessee. So that's the thing I don't get about this. Highsmith is very optimistic. We've heard Omar Khan say the same thing. So why is it the Steelers are willing to pay Highsmith a big contract, but they weren't willing to pay Bud Dupree when there's one common theme? Both guys produce when Watt plays, and both guys had a hard time producing when Watt doesn't. So I would not bring Alex Highsmith back on a long-term deal unless it was a very team-friendly hometown discount kind of deal. And I don't think it's fair to ask Alex Highsmith to do that. He was a third-round pick, a former walk-on. If the Steelers aren't going to give him that money, let someone else do it.
Yeah, I think they should start spending money on the offense now. The next big contract should go to an offensive player.
Yeah, and you want George Pickens and Kenny Pickett to come along, but I still think the offense lags way behind the defense from a talent standpoint. It's younger, so it's cheaper, but I don't see elite players yet on that side of the ball. You signed Allen Robinson, hoping that he gets back to where he was a few years ago. If he doesn't, that's a position that you can use free agent dollars on or maybe trade for a guy. Deontay Johnson, another one. How much longer is he going to be in a Steelers uniform? $13 million a year, whatever it is. He's not that type of wide receiver to me. He's not close to being a number one guy. You might have to replace Chooks next offseason because you don't like his contract and you'd rather get a better tackle. I don't know. There's just a lot of things I'd like to do to help push that offense to a level that we haven't seen in a very long time. And if it's not going to be a better coordinator, it's going to be guys that I think you need to go out and get in free agency or a trade, Richie.
All right, we're going to take your phone calls tonight on the Borders and Borders hotline, 412-575-2600. Thanks for watching the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Back in a couple minutes.